Speaking of big questions,
You want to just jump right into
Yeah.
mine then?
kick it off.
Alrighty, so we're gonna jump into our big questions really early here, which I guess if you want to go over dream lineups, Ryan takes the victory this week. He had Thielen and Mostert, enough said, combining for
Yep.
70 points. Good night. But
Half of it, half
here's
of
my
it.
big here's my big thing. And I mean, I was starting to see a lot of reports coming out of it. I don't know if anyone has like the true answer yet, but there has been a noticeable downward trend when it comes to offensive scoring this year. And so I kind of want to give it up to you guys. This is kind of not just fantasy football. This is also just football in general. Why are the offenses struggling this year?
Man, honestly, it might be an up in defensive play, maybe a little more lean to the running game. I don't know. I don't know why. It just seems like they're struggling for some
I
reason.
no, I do agree with that. I think yes, defenses have kind of upped their play, but we've seen more running this year. I feel like games are just going by faster than what they have.
I think that's definitely part of it.
And I also think injuries, like I don't know that we saw this many injuries this early on in the season last year. So it's like a lot of dudes have been out or been limited or been, in and
Yeah.
out of games. And
I,
I
I
think it's
would
a
I would
thing.
even argue this many quarterback injuries too.
Yeah.
I mean, Fields being hurt.
We're also in a QB like transition
Anthony
phase
Richardson.
now.
Yep, Anthony Richardson's the big one.
Well, we're transitioning from like the old elite QBs into like more of like a younger generation of QBs. So I also think offenses are still trying to find themselves with these new dudes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been kind of ruminating on this question for quite a bit. I have two answers right now. One, I think part of me thinks defenses have taken the philosophy of I'm going to get penalized anyway, so I'm just going to go full force and make people think twice. So I think that's part of the case. And like I've noticed, I mean, the Jets, I would say the Jets and Cowboys specifically, and then you can make an argument for the Ravens, for Philly, for a few other teams where the play speed on the defensive side of the ball just feels like another level this year. Like the Jets, when you have Quinnen Williams, Jermaine Johnson, all those guys, just it's suffocating. Like I would even argue Cowboys and Jets are on like a 2000 Ravens, 2013 Seattle, 2016 Denver kind of pace.
Hmm.
My
Dang.
technical answer that I want to bring up though is that I do think the issue with a lot of offenses, I do think there's some issues with interior O line play. And
Yeah.
the reason why I'll bring it up is this: I've noticed it in a few games last week. So everyone's obviously afraid of your Miles Garrett, your Joey Bosa, your Nick Bosa, and a lot of your edge rushers, right? So a lot of the quarterbacks, I feel like as if why shotgun got very popular is because they don't need to do the extra 5 step drop, and so they can kind of just stand there, take a couple steps. By doing that, the edge rushers actually they actually are going around the quarterback. So the tackles are just pushing them down that way. So they're doing their pass set and then they're just kind of letting your their the edge rusher just go way past the quarterback. The only way for that to happen, as far as how that can work, is if your interior O line play is really, really good. Who are some of the best guards in the game right now?
Chris Lindstrom.
Lindstrom is one.
I don't know.
I mean,
Zach
we could that's like I mean Lindstrom, Zach Martin, Quentin Nelson, um,
Ryan
Tyron
doesn't
Smith.
none of them are on the Vikings.
Hmm? Yeah,
Huh?
none of them are Vikings.
Yeah,
Our
none of them are
interior O
Vikings.
line isn't great.
I mean, I mean, Jonah Jackson's also done like a really good job this year. But I think you even saw it with the Thursday night game. the interior O-line play may be the most important because the only way to force the quarterback to keep going backward to get in that path of the edge rushers is if your interior pressure is really good. So who are some of the players that we've seen do like really good as far as interior? Aaron Donald, for example, Dexter Lawrence, Quinnen Williams, Micah Parsons whenever he's lined up inside. And even your Calais Campbell's, Grady Jarrett's, even on top of that.
Onyemata
So
has been too.
who has?
Onyemata,
Oh yeah, Onyemata is
yeah, their DT.
a great example.
It's been mostly Onyemata, not Grady Jarrett.
Yeah, I mean Grady Jarrett's on the older side of things for sure.
Well, I mean, he's still been good, but Onyemata's been a beast.
Yeah, but the thing I don't know, the thing that I've noticed and that I just kind of want to bring up is I think we may need to focus on as far as teams are running the ball and passing the ball, that interior O line play has to be rock solid. And if there's any
Yeah.
injuries to guards, then I am going to start paying attention to going, hey, I don't think your skill player is going to be any good if the interior O line is hurt. And
Yeah.
so that I think that's just kind of been my takeaway the last 6-7 weeks, and I think it's how it's going to be going on for the rest of the year.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's an interesting take on it.
Yeah, I mean, it's contributing and fantasy
Yeah.
points few and far between, and it's been a weird year.
It certainly has.
But Ryan,
For real.
what are you questioning?